What's going on YouTube? Benable Straw is back with another video on Marvel Strike Force for you today. And Knull's kit is officially in the live game. We're going to be going over that as well as his stat table. He has some pretty crazy stats and his second highest damage in the game. We're also going to be doing some T4 Priority here. So let's go ahead and get started. Knull is a villain, cosmic, mystic, controller symbiote. He is not epic, he is not legendary. And of course, he is a 180 shard unlock. Starting off with the basic of Void Slash, he is definitely going to be T4 heavy. He doesn't have any extra, crazy T5s or what they're calling them now, like the awakened abilities essentially. They're gonna be pretty essential. So the basic for the T4 priority is going to be Void Slash. Always mind control a random enemy with darkness to attack the most injured enemy. Definitely going to be necessary with that darkness in mind. The special is Symbiote Cyclone. If this character does not have trauma, transfer all negative effects from each ally to self, and 100% piercing to primary and secondary targets. Definitely going to need this T4. And also the Enraged Carnage is also there. Enraged Carnage is going to be a villain, city, bio, brawler, Spider-Verse, and symbiote. And there you can see all of his stats here, as well as all of his T4s as well. You're going to be gaining speed bar on 10% whenever an enemy has taunt. But of course, it's going to be more and more as you go down. So as you T4 Knull, all of these abilities will be going up as well. Really good stuff. Enraged Carnage is very damage heavy, so you definitely want to be T4ing your Knull to get all the value from this Enraged Carnage. Alright, moving on to the ultimate, Oblivion Calls. This is going to be plus 50% piercing to all enemies and applying trauma for 2 turns to all enemies. One key thing to note, this T3 here, thankfully it's a T3 and not a T4. If this character does not have exhaust, always clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side and apply the battlefield effect Enveloping Darkness to the enemy side. And you can check out what Enveloping Darkness does up there in that corner. We do have a Knull KIT we have a Knull KIT video that you guys can check out. Pretty much, we got a PDF given to us fairly early that we were able to go over. That'll be right up there in the corner there for you. And this T4 is very necessary for applying trauma for 2 turns. The passive is King in Black. Enemies cannot become empowered with the T4. Essentially, the darkness on enemy turn, if that enemy has darkness, mind control that enemy to attack the most injured enemy. This attack does 20% damage for each darkness on that enemy up to a maximum of 200%. And enemies with darkness cannot gain speed up, gain 10% drain and 10% speed for each enemy with darkness up to a maximum of 50% for self and all symbiote allies. This effect cannot be resisted. Knull is going to be absolutely a powerhouse, a literal powerhouse. Let's go over the stats. So if we go to level 100, G19, Stark Tech 25, 7775, Striker Purple 3 at 3 Diamond, we're going to see that Knull is actually number 3 on the power leaderboard. He's not necessarily passing Mephisto in health or even like say focus or resistance. Odin still has him beat, but what Knull comes second in is his damage. At level 100 G19, excuse me, at level 100 G19 773 diamond, Knull is going to have 11,475,000 health. Oh my goodness. 688,000 damage, 381,000 armor, 129,000 focus, 126,000 resist, 30% crit damage, 10% crit chance, with a speed of 127. Now, he is going to be getting a lot of speed with his passives and stuff like that. Like, whenever he gets that Enraged Carnage, he's only going to be filling his speed bar even more. And a key thing to note is that we did receive his... we did receive word that if you bring a Carnage to the battlefield and they summons an Enraged Carnage to the battlefield, it's really interesting because he's going to be gaining 60% speed if you drop somebody below. It's something very, very, very important to note. You can also go to Knull and see all of his stuff here. So we'll do a full breakdown now that we've done the T4 Priority. The basic is going to be Void Slash, apply 1 darkness to primary target, attack primary target and adjacent targets for 270% piercing, and apply slow. Mind control a random enemy with darkness to attack the most injured enemy. The controlled character gains 20% damage per darkness on that character for this attack, up to a maximum of 200% damage. When forced to attack an ally, this character does not apply darkness to that ally. This attack cannot be blocked or dodged. Symbiote Cyclone is going to be your special. If this character does not have trauma, transfer all negative effects from each ally to self, then flip all negative effects on self. Copy 3 random positive effects excluding stealth and taunt from self and each ally. Heal self for 15% of this character's max health, attack primary and adjacent targets for 350% piercing, and apply darkness. The first time this ability is used in a match, summon 1 Carnage Enraged ally. The summon Carnage Enraged gains a safeguard for 2 turns and defense up for 2 turns. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. The ultimate is Oblivion Calls with a energy cost of 6 out of 6. Attack all enemies for 320% piercing, apply slow for 2 turns, trauma for 2 turns, and darkness to 1 to each target. If this character does not have exhaust, clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side and apply the battlefield effect Enveloping Darkness to the enemy side. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be counter-attacked. Enveloping Darkness. On enemy turn, apply 1 darkness to that enemy, flip immunity on that enemy. On enemy turn end, apply 1 slow up to a maximum of 3. And this battlefield effect lasts until cleared or until the end of the match. So I can definitely see Carnage, Gore, and Knull being used together in arena with, like, say, like a Gladiator and an endgame Thanos. You're probably going to be taking out that Carnage for an Odin, of course. Definitely going to be very interesting to see how he shakes up in arena. The passive is King in Black. Characters killed by Knull cannot be revived. On spawn, gain defense up for 2 turns and apply 1 darkness to the enemy with the highest damage. On turn, heal self for 5% of this character's max health per enemy with darkness. If this character's health is full, barrier self for 5% of this character's max health per enemy with darkness. Gain 50% assist chance, 15% assist chance per villain ally, and an additional 15% assist chance per symbiote ally. Gain 10% speed per symbiote ally, and symbiote allies gain 15% speed and piercing. This character cannot gain trauma, stun, or slow, and this character's speed bar cannot be reduced. Enemies cannot become empowered. That was the T4 we were talking about. And of course, darkness on enemy turn. If that enemy has darkness, mind control that enemy to attack the most injured enemy, and this attack gains 20% damage for each darkness on that enemy, up to a maximum of 200% damage. Enemies with darkness cannot gain speed up, gain 10% drain and 10% speed for each enemy with darkness, up to a maximum of 50% for self and all symbiote allies. Lower the damage and resistance by 25% for all enemies with darkness, and this effect cannot be resisted. One thing I would like to look at is to see if they threw his unique in here. And it seems like they surely did. Knull is going to be Crimson Alien Spores. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below about what you all saw today with Knull's kit. And I will see you all in the next one.